Okay, after connecting the keyboard and restarting this thing, it is actually, at least it looks like it's doing its thing. Just give it a couple more minutes. Yeah, alright. It seems to be loading the operating system. And, yep. This is what we want to be booting. Okay, so, yeah. Seems to be working. Yeah, everything looks extremely rough right now, and it's just horrible. But for now, I'm just going to leave it like this until tomorrow. I'm going to get the L bracket tomorrow to support the server itself. I noticed that I could have just routed the screen cable and the power cable up here, and this is like supported. It's not going to be going anywhere. Really don't need to be putting that that wall mount. I mean, it's just, I think it's unnecessary. I don't know. We'll see if it tips over or moves or anything, or you know, gets in my way. I'll relocate it or something. I don't know. But the server's up. It's got an IP address. Everything seems to be working fine. So yes, now I can go to sleep. Okay, so I got myself a level here because I want this thing to be fairly level. And yeah, this is the bracket that I'm going to be attaching to the wall. And then we're going to have this one here to support the server itself. So I'm going to be positioning this thing kind of under where the feet level is. So like this. Need to get this scuba cylinder out of the way. Don't break. That would really suck. Get this scuba tank out of here. Okay. So a little bit more. This is kind of level. Let's see if this thing here is. So it's nice to have things fairly straight. Not that it makes a big difference in this scenario, but it's always a bit nicer when things are done properly. There's one, and the second one I'll have to I'm gonna have to scooch the server away here so I can get at the hole. Not really sure how that's gonna work. Something like this. It's kind of at a bad angle. But you gotta work with what you got. Alright. Okay, so it has actually been a few weeks since I finished this whole server move thing, and the server's just been running fine. I haven't had any issues with it. The network has been stable, and the only thing that actually did happen a couple of, I think it was like a couple of weeks ago, I went down here, I was just grabbing something from a storage unit, and Isa came with me down here, my son, and I had like had one of those power strips with a button on it which you can turn it off, and that was actually what was powering or feeding power to my optical fiber box and my switch. So we came down here, I just grabbed a couple of things and we went back upstairs. So when we got back upstairs, he wanted to watch something that is located on the server. I tried to turn it, access the server, and it wouldn't. I wasn't able to connect to it. I was like, what's going on? Went to the computer, tried to connect to it through the web GUI, and that was a no-go as well. So I thought to myself, like, oh, I guess we lost power downstairs or something. So we put our shoes back on, went down here, and of course he had turned off the power strip. So the power to the basically the network got cut off, and it was just without an internet connection or a connection to my apartment. So I have actually fixed that problem now. Now I have a little box here with two outlets that has a cord going down here, and it's just connected directly into the UPS. So I don't know if I can actually get this thing down here to show you. It's really nothing exciting. It's just a plug back there, and that powers the basically the internet connection down here. So even if I lose power down here, it's still going to be connected to the network upstairs, and it'll be able to notify me if it actually loses power. So that's a nice feature. And although I have done quite a lot of cable management, but I'm still not happy with it. I still got these cords going here, and this thing just kind of flimsy all around here. I don't know. This thing here is I can do better than this, so when I have some spare time, I'm actually going to go ahead and address this issue, and just have a little bird's nest in here, and yeah, kind of just get a bag of zip ties and really get it close to perfect, or something that I can be happy about. Got my my dad's old turntable down here, so I can play my Suros records, which is this one here is the latest vinyl record that they have. I think it's Vattari, and it's a good record, but I still like the older stuff better from those guys. The amp itself, it doesn't really have like a phono input, so the audio is very low because it doesn't really have a specific amplifier. You need a dedicated amplifier for these phono guys here for it to work in most cases. So I'm actually gonna have to go get my old amp, which is a Pioneer amp, very powerful amp. It's like this one's got nothing on it. It's able to power up really big speakers, and I've been using it for parties and whatnot. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab that one back in here, and maybe I don't know what I'm gonna do with this one. I haven't decided. It might just end up being some sort of backup amplifier or something. I don't know. But the server has just been running great. There's no issues. Temperature in here is, like, right now it is 17 degrees, so very good temperatures. That's going to ensure that my hard drives are in good condition. They're not going to be fluctuating, and yeah, it is usually like 16 to 17 degrees when I come down here just to take a look at things. So that's awesome. That'll help prolong the life of my hard drives, so I don't have to switch those out, as I figured that I would have to do eventually with it in the setup that I had it in, because like I talked about before, the temperature fluctuations, they tend to well, the hard drives don't really like that. I did add a little L bracket here just for further support, because this thing here weighs a ton, this thing weighs a ton, and this weighs a ton. Also, the other amplifier that I'm going to be switching out weighs more than this one, so since it's fairly a lot more powerful, so it weighs a lot more. Still got the subwoofer here connected to the audio system. It does wonders with, because you have these monitors here, which they're fairly flat and they give a very good clear tone. So you need something like a subwoofer to supplement the light, supplement the audio. So I'm really digging this setup. And just to give a little bit of a reference on the audio, kind of see how that thing is working out. This is if we remove the subwoofer from the system. I think that is fairly adequate for a storage unit. So that was the process of moving my file server. It worked out in the end. I pretty much thought it was gonna give me issues with some BIOS things, but you know, oddly enough, it just worked. I just unplugged it, moved it, plugged it back in, and it just worked. Things rarely happen that way when you have computers and servers and whatnot. They're supposed to do it just like this, but sometimes, or most of the times, they don't. But yeah, worked out fine, and I think that's all. Take care.